020-297-3461. All messages tonight, promise, will be read. Tonight, folks, what is on the bill? We have a packed show tonight. The Finance Minister, Kesela, to force yesterday, delivered, I think was stipulated period will be 1 hour, I guess, that he delivered the budget statement, of course, the government policy, the budget, the government policy framework, he delivered. And of course, now I know every Ghanaian knows what it is about, this budget. So there wouldn't be much that I have to speak about because all of us know, and again, the much anticipated, spots within the budget that all of us, we were, as it were, crying about and urging government to do away with. Were what? About 4 taxes, if we all recall. The COVID tax, e-levy, emission tax, and then what next? And then all of those that were praying that the government of John Dramani Mahama should what? Should abolish these taxes. And lo and behold, hallelujah, these taxes are gone. Now, for me, where I take my excitement is not as to the fact that these taxes are gone, no. But then the very prudent, look, may I confess that this budget is one of a budget statement I've never heard it's been read before in this country. I'm not being biased. But you see, the beauty of this, that we scrap all of the following budgets, and then the government decided to, again, make what you call revenue mobilization from another source. You see, he taking the taxes away, he didn't just leave it there. He made provisions for yet another revenue gap so we can mobilize the money from that source. So let's assume hypothetical situation that e-levy, COVID tax, emission tax, what's that? And all of those that you can think of. We scrap all these taxes away. Now, make your projection that the above taxes would even give government of Ghana 50 billion Ghana cedis, and we have to scrap it away. Of course, we have to be worried that why are we cutting these taxes away if these taxes are going to give us this mobilization? But the government was smart enough to say that, yes, I'm scrapping it off, but we are making provisions for yet another revenue mobilization. So it will not then sound as if though these taxes are gone and we are losing the revenue. They've made some provisions elsewhere. And that for me is a way to cushion the people, the society, the Ghanaian, the economy. Now, some have described this budget, this policy framework as short-term, a short-term kind of relief. Some are saying it's a medium term. Some believe that it's a long-term relief. I don't know what your mind is about, but of course tonight you can be part of this program by dropping your WhatsApp messages. Yes, what do you make of the budget statement so far? The government policy framework or the government policy statement. What do you make of the budget read yesterday? Were you satisfied? Are you okay? Do you see this as a relief? Is it a budget of hope? What is it? I don't know your impression. Tonight, join the show, call a friend, a brother, a sister, and then you drop your WhatsApp messages on 020-297-3461. All messages will be read. Folks, still on the bill, tonight we have a big breaking news for you. A former minister in the ex-Wal Akufo-Addo's government. Who is this minister? We have a breaking news on this minister. Folks, it's a very terrible breaking news. Yes. And then third one, Ghana Police Service, please bring your ears here. All over Ghana Police Service, within all regional capitals, bring your ears here. I have a news for you. Well, I wouldn't say that's a breaking news though, but then I have a message for all Ghana Police Service across regional district capitals. Come here. But there is a breaking news coming shortly involving a former minister, also a former member of parliament, for which constituency you will know in a jiffy. Yes, this individual was also a former minister in the ex-Wal Akufo-Addo's government. What has happened and what is the issue? You're about to know in a jiffy, all right? So it's a packed show, but then our main focus again is that of what has happened barely 24 hours. The finance minister has delivered the budget statement and we are all comfortable. so many reliefs, even though we did not see where those, if you like, where the statement captured what will reduce goods and services and all of that. But for me, I think we take consolation in the fact that COVID tax is gone and we are okay. And COVID tax is gone and all of that. Folks, let's get started. And I dream in Hebrew crab. Meaning, so when you're born in Wakwemo, I had the Enijim Guam. Yes. If you had it an aquam. Enra, area, take. Kessel ato forcing. Edi beshisha so parliament to tim. And or the budget statement, no, that government policy, no, or the ebeto ho. And some of our budget in Bibri Sabri Mate. Now, the most essential, if you like, some components within the budget are the much anticipated say sub budgets we say free ho and I say offense our taxes we say free on Ghana for us. Say I mean say street in so I deja. Street in so I deja. Yeah. Code Mickey Bekana say street in so I tight. Baby I beja. Yeah. Chale boys na I happy pa. Chale say no mine see a handle. And yes sir obi mpese obi tua tax o. But me kwekwa metie masem ne say what the tax neighbor say mean metia. Now I must be able to assess what you call value for money. What the tax and what the idea. Now, when we don't have anything to evaluate, when we cannot evaluate what has happened with our taxes are, except to say, by close of 4 to 8 years, our taxes need to na akonkrofo bottom. Egugunkrofo account. And again, the finance minister has still made some very significant points out there. Say, tax refund, sikanku ebegu mi saying 29.11 billion. 29.11 billion. Say sikani yehu baby afa. Omami sa property baby. And I'm sure you've heard say why other interviews or other networks we making some emphatic statements. We say sikani baby yehu baby and so afa. Now the enu the better. Matese can naneo foriata so or court. We sue some police officers be so on TBBA say what the bebaso tonight bill no why issue bill no why shepa now enti sana hine no de sanse mi na ebegu na ni na no fengu ho no de na ehia Ghana fo ni titru ankasa ne sem some monstrous taxes bi a enshadam famfa somre kire say masa eye krono bo say covid ni etwem COVID crown no die nti ade amu MPP fo no maye no hwe mamu ma nipa ni mre saa wo mamu nya ade ma nipa ni mre ema obi akase kwaku mo ye ma na etu. I'm telling you MPP party no mo hwe bibi e kire se sentia mo de COVID tax krabe to Ghana fo no so no e kire se ebra in 2019 COVID yare bae no hwe I am aware and I came here and I read all this document to Ghana for kire se amayamaya womudi sika ebre Ghana wo. The quantum of money about Ghana no nenye sika atoa wo. The quantum, the voluminous money that drop here ni nara as irresponsible on the part of some leadership of the MPP muche sika no ediye asem we me meka nkyeremo monalarigu woman organizer obaye bete moto minim se mami fence Cynthia Morrison ono so ye na dwen say ono no no so ono nkasa na ode na di afa ho munim very well say COVID no sika ba o menwa na enye sika keto say se na monia bresa mo pesa mo manage o menya COVID sika nkran no would have helped MPP not to go to the corridors of the IMF monka say kwaku na oboa. But what did you do? You chopped the COVID money, billions and billions and billions. You chopped that money and at the same time what did you do? Muwie na mosade tax esa to so edema say yentua 2019 20 21 22 23 24 6 solid years na mode sa enkonua we ato ye kon so say yentua boni bia anim yetua all up to now COVID ne kwa ni muwie my account ama Ghana. Mo the company bi kosi airport mo from saying they be as me from there was a company obi fe dinim na me na company bi wo airport sa company na wan no dia mo misa say Sa company omatimi ya account. I'm a government of Ghana. How much in a mobilize here? COVID is ikano do was saying and a car modi den yante hoshe. But then pu yetua. It is a baby abano say no. Enough is enough say sikano ye generative ye. Munyin konua ni fi Ghana for konso kakra. Enye so obi no pay tax tua. But ye be say how responsible and amodi ye tax and modi ye. Mudi bebre no di ma di bi to talk cars. They be to talk luxurious homes. Na makodem abodan for sick people. What didn't any juma? What? Say Ghana need to America, London, Hinfa. No mugua. When we are so comfortable, so make your tax and why? Because there's a prudent management, and again the government is so responsible. Say they will not chop the people's money. Share refund taxes. Here, my day, my say tax and my fine tonight, folks. Ye baby di hun komo. And I agree, as some so adapt no subium, say, Minister Penipa, I know what Akufo-Addo Bemu, Asem Yesi. Very scary, me who be that. That's the same way, investigation of Frontline, ya yo, who ye. Name him says, Sana minister, no, Nini may be here. Very scary, and you are going to know who this minister, breaking news, is coming. Yeah. Again, on Monday, may the assembly to her. And they say, Omanpeni, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Say, Beya, that is beginning looking like we want to institutionalize it. Say, the clergy, the body of Christ, episode share them periodically. No, sorry, say, but folks, reactions will be after table. May I say tonight, many also will be in Yasem. Many also will be in Yasem. Now, so for no moment, Kwame men Kamasem. Minim wa intia eba the men of God now bought womudia. Hey, not some section of the society is blazing up. Why? Munka Ghana, munye nipa. Munka enti ye bo politicians ni dindia. Some catch them say, me kweku. Ghanaian politicians are me respect of them. Me sure so we do more than 10%. The same applies to your men of God in this country. I least respect your men of God. Munimi wahu. Share, massa. Mamu for massa be mahao. Because there is an expose and nam kwemwa na mube huwa so for nipinum. Mamu for massa maha. Me not scared of any human being born through the aisle of a woman. Oh, me bu keke. It's only a mama minye mejuma. Asemna mebeka eno. Whether President John Dramani Mahama would continue to dine and wine with the men of God, that decision solely lies in the bosom of the president. But that will not negate the fact that, and says, folks, Dianadri, and also who response be Eda Ponoso. Basi gidi gidi gidi. Call a friend, call a brother, a sister. We all sit here now. Fear the Nyoma atotono kwemu. Pepe. But Anadri, asemo dahono. Echrese. Bidimu be segment here, friend. Ghana Speaks proudly brought to you by Ora Blaster for Jomu Khan is a memon kayese. Ray. As I see a woo to one amonia. De biabe kone ni pejo no ma feature mini no mo hwedi. Nice woman and I'm who to pass her nan sikan kurawom. And sikayo nkotokuro pa. Grantinin srada offensive weapons. A big kuta a can say machetinum any Sophie. Hadden offensive weapons. Young kunkwa because of assassin. Jamano. As I see a kudru court be jam one choma jam or that. Intimacy, trasso for now. Bra, ode bra. Mami mwao, maude, say, die crabbing our basin or do tia to my sea. Biswa kakrabia win your person or the coin to some business be never ever more profit in tea. Never say, no so bra. A be an opesa who could see a be a yanum hostel CB, a day Emma school for. Be an opesa who could see a affordable houses CB, and ample say hotels. And I'm posting open so could see universities. Anything the opposite way was assassins na kwenya ho. Ora blaster for you to me kubia. When we do muhuni papa into them no motor science away. Ora ochina yawo to Americana call mo office e wo fan call barrier he ya wo. Obe frɛ ma na wa frɛ mo chana patutu to na wa ko ukwa abomidin kyerɛ wo. Wo mbe jos wo 053 617 6327 053 617 6327 on Bejo. So now, Ora Blaster for 9 in a sense as near Kojini na ni ya crata to Suntoba near ya crata no ediamam. As I see ya the electricity ecoso access road and a saying access road, electricity, and I feel so water. Yeah, the cost will need problem. Nina no ya bibia you want to see bi okwabenya kaswa breku danger amasaman botiano sheno so asase no se baby ye keken na no wompa a place of your choice wo metimi abom wenya bi o hwe said o masase no esitie na unu se eye kama problem bia litigation bia any asase land guard the same bia so take a listen to this.
Hello, thank you. I'm interested in buying a lot of land. Seeing your ads online, decided to pass by and come check it out myself. Doing this without seeing your offices is kind of really stressful.
What is your budget range?
Spending about 50 to 70,000 as it is.
Wow, luckily we have a lot of here going within that range. Actually, at the truck.
Oh, great. And how has the baby land?
We have an additional deposit of 20%. Our perfect payment, 2 months payment, 6 months payment, and then 1 month payment. With our perfect payment, we give you 1 month deposit.
Oh, wow, interesting. And I think I'll go for the 3 months payment. When can I go view the site?
Every Saturday 10 a.m. the site will be
so my math, we are good to. That's my nice business.
Find your dream property with Aura Blackstar Limited. Visit us today and let our expert team guide you home.
Contact us on 030-2452-555. 030-2452-555. Our site at www.aurablackstarlimited.com. Aura Blackstar, your preference, our priority.
Great one, folks. Welcome back, and of course, this is the Frontline show tonight. Asemiba na midinka kachram zem Ghana Police for mama masomra Ghana Police Service mama masomra na anadwimene mu wonkomo bebresi complaining and ye online problems cause network ni very slow mo fan chen nyame fault o nyame fault the network no so challenging nti mo amwo online so no mo fan chen na nina no yeah, rectify it, bibia betimi akọ. Well, tonight, before me breaking news in the yes, like I said, Ghana Police, Edmaku, Mumma Somra Miria, Minimo, and Kumubike to 26 minutes gone past the hour. 8. This is the Frontline breaking news story.
This is the Frontline breaking news.
Great, folks. Welcome back to the Frontline show, breaking news story. Of course, our breaking news story tonight, of course, covers a horrific event involving a former member of parliament. A former member of parliament, Nana Ama Esiama Dokua AJ, a former MP for Equiapem North. And also, if you recall, in 2024 elections, she contested Okaikwe South constituency, of course. And she's also a former deputy minister for trade, Mokaino. Yeah. Currently on the screens, yes, Nanama Dokua. Onono Hwasemna, Eimre, Abesisiye, make us say, what is about Nanama Dokua a simple we main corner brofum me try na ma yeni na e wo twinim na etimi akoye kyerem. Currently Nanama Dokua Ghana Police in Ashanti region hwehwe no for ensembia emu eyehu ye papa na asemi mema mo summary. But then again may I say our breaking news tonight on here HSM the police in Ashanti region but yehu baby or the afa. Now the Frontline show is also following up this issue with a keen interest. Assembly na esi mama mami ye hwehwe no no e kire se ewre ono so oye Ghana ni a owo Germany ewre ne first name na mebo the rest ne ho hia ni din e de tena now ewre tena enso adamfo a one no wo adamfo owo Ghana ha a sa adamfo yi one no wo Ghana owo Ghana he mame tena na free Germany aba ene wabeye ne nime bi wo Ghana ha na obaye no na che so friend adamfo yi ni didi nkoma na so me kra na maba wo terrain mi free baby na me besen ena me yeden me ba me fa wo region m che se owo Kumase na so me ba within this area nti me nam Kumase na so oh ene metimi aba ho aba spend 1 or 2 days bi kra na makwa ena oba maami ho se one ne eba bedi na kakra na ebra maami tine ye oye Ghana ni owo Germany eba maami hoi one ni na na ti ho nti omja ma girls no mti ho na adebe siya according to our investigations no tena na church mu se anytime bia no one ne wo ho no ohun se na danfi o receive calls any obi kasa later o discover ehun se nipa no na danfo no ono maame tinai na danfo ye friend Abigail na danfo Abigail obi hu an se one obi di nkomo e wo phone so eventually o discover se nkomo no na danfo Abigail ni di no eye maame eye former member of parliament osanso former deputy obeye former deputy trade minister maame nanama dokuei eno no ni di nkomo now enkomodie no oni ni die no otimi hu at a point to say e ma sebe wo mayiyi wo mo ho wo madeja adeja o wo madeja no ni ade ne ne tse me ubetimi ahwe ma no ho ba bia say enufuo adien oni na bibia na omu didi sa nkomo no na sa nkomo no na omu didi ni na no na ono ma metine no ohu and at a point oni nadamfo no wodam a na maame ne fra na wa chance on kana no ntum because on pese obehu so ono sa atena na ofie ho sa mane koko wie se ewura one particular day maame tene according to the narrative no o bathroom dware ena nadamfo no Abigail no rush by say obi ese wode ne ka $2,000 hey how but ahia me we mi nim obia wo sa krom ha nti ene na obi si me de ka na onu so pie ode ne hu nya pie ode ne hu pie ye no oba be bisa se hwan ene o se me de ne ka no na sana na danfo Abigail no e video ne deda o video ye no ene ode video no koma former deputy minister of trade eye Nana Amadoku na folks one part of this investigation the entire story nankasa afi ne ye be wuram no we me mamo summary enko wie na chese na danfo no ne te dem ho no etwitwa ono tenei ne ho videos bebre e de akoma former deputy minister plenty of it for whatever it is they don't know now according to tena no owo ho and who say one time ono so hu say on any phone so no an unknown number asani bibia brand on the phone so onkosha ono ankasa na deja ni nude pictures and will be ascended their brain. How? So there and there, and who you quickly said, no, those videos now, Obia Senedi Abrenino was precisely taken from the Nadamfono if you are on anyone. Into honor Rashiko Nadamfono said, I don't know where me bonesa and Nadamfono confess, he said, why any bonnet on fan channel. Iranum. There and there, and or confess, say, a former deputy minister. Nanama Dokue and all the videos in your command. So there and there, confrontation because so confrontation imono. Mame Dokua, former deputy minister, a former member of Ghana's parliament, Ewe Kwiaprim North, also denies video non fan komobia. But my question tonight, me bisa, Mami said, do you admit some videos in about phone so? No, what the heading? Na o request sa videos so get na o request na wo de yeden ebiom eye ne kra so se wo ne wadanfo Abigail no so etwitwa mo ho videos a sebe o madeja ne ade ededa da ho o yes ade na Deputy minister no, former deputy minister no, oh yes sir. We really want to know. Ye pese Mami Dokua baby obeti yanka bia no. Omra no meboa man se me yen because I'm scared. Now Mami tina no fi Germany ba na finalizing the narrative said. Eba sa no afi omu hu se no de eba na no odene. Enti ono ema ne hu nkrofo bi a wo mo so wo sa ekuro no so baby wo mo no Kumasi na mekan ba Kumasi no onim ho but onim nkrofo bi wo Kumasi kuro no won to frɛ wom so omomra wo mo ba no wo mo dia police fo na bae a police fo no bae no no be che tine na damfo no ne wo fie no ye frɛ no abigene ye che ne ye de ne call police station ye de ne call police station e no san ko narrative wo police fo no nim se ani o videos ni na no Mami Dokua no ho e na ekoe afi ye hwehwe Dokua na ye hu bebi a Dokua ne de afa former deputy minister wato wirem emipo mu ana se kwaye mu wo mo frɛ no a oni Ghana fa hen esene nsem bebre ewuranom very serious matter enioma me di meni ehu no I am shocked and I'm scared say a former member of parliament or take Ghana's legislative house enim say obi adeja untimi emane wo phone so too untimi ma obi nkotwe obi adeja mfa mmerɛ say wo de ye den. By the way Mami Dokua no oni sa bigre no so ne kure say mo amu didi mo hu nkomo a mo hwɛ video mo hwɛ mo na mo yi madeja ade ntira obeye sa ne kure sa say sa na oya na na sa video no so na de ye den ewuranom afi ye fra big Venezuela Mami Dokua ya wayira eho ena Mami Dokua no esuma lawyers bi say wo momra police ho no mo metwitwa nje abigre no na lawyers ne ebae no ena ba ko hu say no or share nude pictures na sebe Mami ofri Germany ba na deja na say de o metwa ye de ekono hu say no asem na ni enyan na o so no case o ntimi mbem nti na chese na ne raho nti oja ho another lawyer so buy a ono so be hwe no hu say no e wo police station ho no hu say asem no say de ekona no wodne na do mbetimi aya na say e so mo pa ewra na chew say ni nude pictures aye den every Mami Dokua no make say you see bloggers pa and ya check it bloggers bebre and so afa sa videos no no mo so ye den and so etre mu share baby I want say make Monday na make bi me say Ghana ha sunsum ewo sa omai wo mi sunsum boni a mi hu bi da Ghana for ye wo ha o ye wa brochi memu o boni a ewo ye trim ene esuma ewo ye trim no me hu ni po mte sada just say we take delight and desire say yen say ye ho me ho yen konkosi on fa nya hwe so to me say there was a grand conspiracy between the former deputy minister also a member of parliament for Ekuapem North Mami Nanama Dokua yi eno mo ye de omu video era no na wonni wadamfo adamfo no sa na mo ya adenti na mo video lady na mo de ye den folks. Second lawyer no so buy no ono so hwe de ekono a de obetimi ane say no wo mon compensate era no a ye ka say compensation ahodo mo try so mbe ofa e de ama era no e ye nsem bebre asem no kodru court e ma judge no ebisa say hey asem a judge ni can say Nana Dokua again what it means is that there are more issues about this former deputy minister we ni na no e disturb our society here. Eranam ni na ko wie se afi ye hwehwe na na ama no no mache no no we beyin nsema no a wayira ena court ne say no wo mon hwehwe no no mo nchi no mo chi ni wie a case no mo fa nko high court folks the end of this matter ne say na na ama ne yehu bebi e wafa afi there is a group a syndicated women group one mu bi no I say wo mo ne na na ama adamfu ya Tena yi free Germany kotran in cheno aye friend Abigail no wo mo aye gang and if you mo issue threats edema irano eye tena na wabagana wo mo issue threats e won life so na wo mama na ultimatum said they will finish it. Now folks we've intercepted some video recordings some video recordings no e kire say ampa wo mo nya no mbekunu kire say obi another lady among the group our Belgium issue threat at the aba. Say, or the Ghana security services for say, wombe rano. 2, wombe kuno as of enra within 24 hours. Afi tax akọ Irani fie Emma adekwa no mukwa kwaye wo ho no eno de me be yi akyem na mo amahwe se die nti no mbe call folks asem ni ayehu yie papa na the question aye bisa ne say na na amadoku a connection ben no wo to all of these issues so mo pese Irano wo mo eliminate no said on be kata ni o maso na because it's a question I'm asking say we need Nana Amadoku to come and answer questions because as I speak to you folks Ghana police Ashanti region so for life for episode kata case in so yeah but unfortunately woman timi kata so chese yes yama the security services for na swati mean to me modi but the top excellence of the security service are swatima ye ba be move be quickly again some foreign partners being so ewo Belgium woman so ya notify woman Irana or issue threat no we are yet to pick that lady quickly from Belgium. Nobody can take a human life for the very fact of what? Nobody try. Me be yin for natural. The threats now Iran issue from Belgium. Ediabre Iran wa hase womo hwehwe na omekunu. Again, ye bisa Nana Amadoku connection ben or what to this. Nana Amadoku is son and suni ne ban tie. Obesum Ghana as a deputy minister. Obeye member of parliament. Ye bisa se Sabio agrobi atise sa ma agro odibia na and delights in naked videos na sefo of women again wahwehwe na odi aye. But folks, videos na me ntimi yi nkyeremo. Ehu ye very nasty. But threats no ma threats na ewura de ya intercepted copies of it. But me sure take a listen to this.
Says me na make Muncho na mo de ba ayi no Ghana security mufanko me na make mo beti de mo nti wo masum mo anya amana obewu ye be kunu me be suma me aborutuo muncho mo record aso obi siro aso especially me talking this aso misro me de entertain yo me de on per kwa na meye dia because mu de mu ye no mu he tan eti me kira mu de mu nya se be ye yenkotua sika mu se set up me na me ye number 1 me na me ye the setup of the himana me petina ni turu mu kokobo dia ba abontene ni turu mu kokobo na me yi aba abontene me na me pe ni turu mu kokobo no me na me pe yi aba abontene o se na ma sa you guys for me.
Yeah, folks, my main chim will say, Mamia or no o issue threat the amatine ya or no or German on Wabe. Mammy Ushimwa on Ka Asemihu. But I say when we a syndicated group. Now, woman who say the former deputy minister Nana Amadoku yache no and omina base they want to issue more threats. And te bia 10 and be kan anwa to mo so be dwane so be to wire mu a na asem na kata no ma bury because they are even trying with the police say asem no person mo bury case no into on sa threat to issue from Belgium no dey buy but I don't want to speak much on this because there are serious Belgium intelligence agencies be ba be yedwumi. I need not to say this but yeah there now occurs asem way in the next couple of hours Irano Nipa akono so a wo mo pese o me den wo mo kokun ewura no and we've intercepted those videos as well. Take a listen to this.
Yeah. Bra ti na on ti fie ha. Aha ye papa ne ye ma me fie ti na on ti ha. Me se ti na on ti fie ante Aisha mudi na so ma mo won. Aisha na so ma mo. Me se Aisha me se me ka sa hwa we ni me se Aisha na so ma mo. Amu to me abo. Oh okay. Okay. Okay.
Who you go for you Aisha? Who you go for you Aisha?
Yo. 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 Family home. Dada, she ame. She what? She ame. She ame.
First badge, the second badge, move.
Na munkuya tina on tifie ha. Tina ntifie ha, tina onni ha. Mumbe kuyen yo, mumbe kuyen. Mumbra mbe kuyen. Sama ba sa mu be kuyen, nti munkuyen. Musa mu be kuyen, sana muka mu be kuyen. Mu be kuyen. Na dia mu ye na chese. Mi siti na ntifie ha, tina ni ha. Tina onni ha. Tina nti ha. Tina onti ha o kon. Tina nti ha. Tina onti fie ha. Tina onti fie ha. Tina ni ha. Tina onti ha. Tina ni ha. Monko tina ni ha. Monko tina ni ha o kon. Monko tina ni ha. Mese monko tina ni ha o tina onti ha. Mo be trete yen. Ya ni ya papa na ofie mo be trete yen. Ya ni ya papa na ofie mo be trete yen. Tina onti ha. Tina onti ha. Mese tina onti ha. Mo trete yen. Mo fi ankoti na onti fia. Mo be kuye na aduna mo be huru mo be kuye. Mo mbra be kuye. Mo mbra be kuye yo kon. Mo mbra be kuye tina onti fia mo mbra be kuye. Mo mbra na mo be kuye tina onti ha. Tina onti ha o monko tina onti ha. Tina onti ha mo fifi anko. Anro be se mo fifi anko. Mo fifi anko. Tina onti ha. Tina onti ha Roberts mo be kuye ni ewu. Tina fifi onti fia mo fifi anko. An Roberts mo be kuye. Mo ya criminals. Me se tina onti ha mo trete yen. Me se tina onti fia mo.
Great folks. Yeah, it's getting murky and very scary. Now, video me yichire we bra. Sa threat no of the lady no e buy no. Following that threat no e no mo ko fie ho anadwo. As of enra so mo ko adekon mo ko e ho no mo pe no munim. But we intimi this tax intimi enya access in refie ho. Nti ho altercations na course. Now folks, like I said, the Frontline show is following up on this issue. It's a developing story and tonight. You follow up near share baby as ekudru. You see, I oftentimes will not do this and speak to people like this. But you see, Mame Nanama Dokua, former member of Ghana's parliament, Equiapum saying North, and a letter or science bebe contested Okaikwe, is it Okaikwe South? Right? Okaikwe North. God. Mintimi hu adeku ebema mami sebe wode wo hu ajeje nyoma etisemu Ghana for me say munim mami doku ano. But this is a woman me oftentimes ontanti na no kasa ewodwem enem ne ade mo fa ne picture mrama Ghana for no hu no ya mo nye ne fast man. Now me bisa say edien anamotuo enti na ebemu wetu edien na ebemu na tu anamon we edien so enti na ode no ho bagigi ne mebi mu saa. And of course tonight after saying investigations no corridors bi nso bebre ahwespa egumi masumu a am just assembly agiminsem. But you see, all of these people form the umbilical cord of the decision making in this country. As a former member of parliament, as a former deputy minister, woman be your swafo at the amount me and to say, with decision of a parliament, Abwama Mrashe, ebe kosumi ye na ye di mraso, ne bibia ko ye no, na se former member of parliament will be seen outside the box. Now we engage in such a high crime in your matisa. let me be say ye kon saying. Now the Ghana police for ehu baby or diafa. And we are also following, we've triggered our high core intelligence across some levels. And Mami Dokua, the ebet me catch on say, aha, frontline the here anyway ding gomo. And to me, I value one. I don't know how to say, but is he the husband Yeminuya? Charles. Mami Dokua and the husband Charles Bisi or Yeminuya. Tell me, yes, sir, Mammy, no oya dia warrior. No. Say, and coma, when the ma dear sabe, a mano arrow romo ho, and him dead the naked. How? I say, saying, what is the meaning of this? Yet, what? Just say, if I saw a woman, I don't want to talk much on this, but it's so disgusting, very, very nasty. Hey, really, a married woman? Mesesian asamne da ho obi naked video amudichi and ono mami doku na be deny say yes video ne ban ho nan so on fa video no nkoma bloggers bia meanwhile bloggers na use video ni na no oho and a video no leaky free so and on one kasa nsusu ne ewura no nso so ewo into sa enioma no wo mutwitwa mo ho videos a wo mu na naked di ntia well folks yeah the breaking news way ebeto ha. And of course, we are following this story with a very keen interest, folks. But sooner rather later, the person involved, a full interview on this case. And I'm craving the agencies are involved. Because he didn't This is the Frontline breaking news story. Good folks, welcome back, and of course, our breaking news story in the Abeto. Now, my member Ghana police for so. Tonight, I am here to tell the Ghana Police Service for say the current Inspector General of Police, Dr. George Ekufu Dampare, will soon make his way out of the office. For me, not for bad reasons, not for good reasons, whichever way. It is what I can say, sir. His services to God and country, and again managed to rise to the apex of leadership in our security services, has achieved some results. However, he cannot, will not, and may not carry the full responsibility of the job all to the end. No. And timpeni say ube ye bia, yes why ye be, ubi sube twaso. I foresee, and it is what is in the making. Nenu no bi kan asem so say, bibi besi. Bibi besi, bibi besi, bibi ebesi. And the Ghana police, all over regional capitals, districts, any dia keka hono. Dia mekane say munya abutoyomu emma the current administration the National Democratic Congress led by President John Dramani Mahama munya abutremano. I can say confidently, sir, in the next couple of 48 hours, I think that the president is certain. He is certain on what he is to do. Yes, in the next 48 hours, the president, John Dramani Mahama, was certain of what he is to do, and he will do it and finish it well for Ghana police. For me, and yet also in the bad interest, say IDP no ebebasa because saa so na edwuma ne yeye no nti ebasa anso a the mesume can say Ghana police for also be measured in whatever you are to do, Nema IGP no bibia no enye kama na ontumi nkotwa edwuma fofora President John Dramani Mahama odebema no. Folks, Ghana Police Service monso modia medebema no. Now, politics of today again begins with what we highlighted Monday, regarding the gathering of saints with President John Dramani Mahama. And tonight, we want to re-echo some fundamental aspects of what we highlighted on Monday. May shall see free Monday, no, and Komobia, Menimudia, Efa, a Christopher, Asofua, woman John Mahama, ever a damn didi, your moon, Common, and I didn't say big good mamo. And agree the portion of San Semno, and also me person me putting ho kakra editor. And indeed, our preposition maintained that we must be measured in the scheme of things to avoid a major catastrophe. The Ebeka on Monday no enya bone kwan so na mom se be ya ensembu ma ye de betoto se de ese de toto ama ohaw bi ni basabasa bi enkosi ayoman panino eho ban ne yebo seven prediasa asofo no mo ne o man pani ko hia no ya asofo but Monday men face him say no in and out of these men of God empateku ensibo enyata sisire nchirebe nim pemire ewo mu bi man face him and nobody can underestimate that. On Monday, I mentioned two men of God. So two men of God now me born. You see, Obi person here it say, oh, Kwekwanan has attacked all men of God there. I'm sorry. I took 4 out of the men, and 4 no, 2 of them I endorsed them. Said President John Mahama should embrace them. 2 of them I exposed them. 2 now me expose here near wine. Bishop Etru appear. Anyway, Michael Bwedi Nyameche. And I said, I exercise my fear and indeed still maintain this fear. And again, I have said something in the past that the anti-progress of this country cannot entirely be blamed at the doorstep of politicians. Some of these, our men of God in the body of Christ, are seriously culprits. Monday, me de to home my life. Me say, I don't trust Bishop Etru Apia. And I don't trust Reverend Michael Bwedi Nyameche of Makers Chapel. Me trust him. No. Na me chere mu say ntia me trust him. Na Michael Bwedi Nyameche krade, I went further to say say ono ana sofo e de asem kese bia beto a ehu yi. He's been accused of serious occultic practices. Yeah, nanu ye maso. It's a story that is under investigation. Ono Bwedi Nyameche ya aware say so be ya no say occult practices ben and on this so fun getting odu omure mu nyame na meko they are there, they are ready, they are about to speak. Accuse him of occultism. Na mutin semni bia mu be shock. Yeah. And these are the very serious matters. Yefe niagro. Yeah. Na sa nipa weinum and we share them so more bompa yamawa. Enye hu ana. Well, and I'm doing basic. Inti besre ma osofu bi mfa ne nibre emma me so say. Me bo Nigerians din, me bo Beduko bi din. It doesn't matter whether Beduko bi ni asofu bi ewo issues ene na sefo. Nye ho na asam na ewo there bi. Wo mo so ye Ghana for emwo bi o mo de bo a mampeni no, they have the rights there see e ka ho asem. Me do wo mo si wo no tonight. Let's take a look at some of their psychological drives, lies, hypnotism, any falsification oftentimes they heap on Ghanaians. They be America's asem. Say, asofo no bebre ka ho no man kwa enkoso. Because of say, ye the man na religious, and say bebre na mo ka kire nipa. Sabio, nyansa biare nim, nanso obi ka na say, oh, I am a godfather, oh, papa, oh, me this, oh, that. And you don't make a biano, religious falsification and throw and ada akoshisem nyaminkan or sin nyamese. Na mi be ya dia kire no wa hwe se osofo e na wodi we ato onsore manenim. So adien and where then wo preach dia kire ensore me say Folks, take a listen to this and tell me which Christian practices being ye. Is God saying he should do this or otherwise? Take a listen to it.
That is going to be destroyed. Everything on this earth is going to be destroyed. His way of life never destroyed. Never destroyed. His life, everything. That is going to be destroyed. Everything on this earth is going to be destroyed. His way of life never destroyed. Never destroyed. His life, everything. That is going to be destroyed. Everything on this earth is going to be destroyed. His way of life never destroyed. Never destroyed. His life, everything.
The Yankopon also on heels. Heels no she a man pabwa asie atinti no she no original so dem on wo ye de way or sing ya say. Now, the General Overseer of International God's Way Church, the self-styled acclaimed prophet Daniel Kwajo Obinim, has finally confessed to his nefarious religious activities in the past. Now no kweku anante baby nyaho na baby na meka Ghana for hey kweku ja and on one ka say bie nenum to na afi oye ne confession afi wo ka nenum asem boni ni samoni a odi etiam one ka say Ghana for bi especially women yem pebra pepe bi abo na saa ne de beyemo. What I say? Edian and also the air Ghana for air say wutibie into okwa asoro ho na afi we hu de air say bibia odo ho fa say into all this one na nipa ben na woni na esumi na de na obi ni mo worker. Take a lesson.
Papa Jina Salem. I don't know if 2022. Say Oba we am for any free sound. Sister, the carpenter. Na me so ma shede nya adwin say ma me na ne nchen. Na ya shede fa adwin bi say den shede antwo say Bishop Obinim sleeping with church member one on the floor. Yes, shede pa. Na ye shede create. Yes. Stories near the Abba. No correct. Say be ya Ghana for be here. E be kinye ho asema. E be ka ho asema. Abranche me ma di loto. Hey.
This is horrible. Hey, ragazzi, asemaba, bra na menunkasa. Kadia, obinim, ejina na sorendem, ebie ne sen na num.
Ote. Afi wo nipa, wo asofo akese obinim bubo omudin. Asofo akese Obinim ebubo mudin to be what? Omunya e fake ana. Ono no wokan. Nyami kweku. Finally, in God's name, we allow some of these men of God supposed to guide society morally and religiously, rather tend to abuse the fundamental rights of the system, all in the name of God says. Sebahu. Onyamema asofo a mudi nyame emma enim esese musu moban ene mobobie nya yese Kristo. You must be Christ-like na moye ahobrase debi ene some of our men of God in even Africa and elsewhere rather create society. In fact, they want to be seen in society say woman are more prominent than anybody. Oh yeah. They want society to rather reverence them, that they are bigger than everybody, and that society must see them to be something else. And they want to abuse society anyhow they want. Now, my show, they abuse society and they abuse our institution, and they don't even care. Take a listen to Papi. Folks, so a man of God, as I say, where then police officer, echo from sending Pabuano yam pepa who see a year den. Police officer now say or duty bound of protecting the nation. There be also for not chined nashe dem wo nashe kem as so paper and papua ho na just how many Ghanaians and as our opportunity no menya. This is the level to which are more abusing the system, the institution. I saw them who and I saw them one day and you to say Jama. Me who how they want to be reverenced to whichever extent. Some of the church members leave the state institutions, it is getting out of hand. Me say obi ba obehwe be a police in what no mudinechi. What is it for? Obehwe police be 9 no mudinechi. Are you scared? Who slow? Na de nyame asem no koka na ye boss tra na eden. Who slow? I have never seen any Muslim clergy or preacher asema or kasema bodyguard dinechi. Never. Ain't see that. No. No imam or no Muslim or jirahifa kanyame asema no ye den na police dinechi. Dey nti no be say ain't see that. There be G a Christopher sofo na dey bi omujo here baba any kikoma gadu sani niko braka namne braka ko namne ade no wo mu cartons ni awie nso still they are scared and they continue to abuse the system. Folks, oh my goodness, just a police officer nesi from kolezi ni boot ni shoe amano red carpet nso eseho. Are you serious? Okay, can I go for my break, folks? My make a short break. The expert will speak on the budget policy framework. Folks, with him, episode obisi we who video ni. Mama send you video no mama this time. Na san say police officer no yede. Take a listen to it one more time, then I'll go for the break. Folks, this is exactly what, na me person moshe. Police officer no, or your officer of the state, or bobino, baby, or lazy will be boot, or soft on the boot, or neku ras or them, or soft on the preacher or them winner. Police officer no, or any tia saw them, or saw them, or soft no suro, he's scared. Yankopon asem kura no na yebo asuma na wuzu ana eden. That's why I love the Muslims. Just say even in death they believe say yeah it's part of glorifying God. Na mu de mu wu enye yi. Folks, my make a short break me ba. You be ransom is a stick and stay. This is the Frontline show. I'll be right back.
Hello, welcome.
Thank you.
Sure.
I'm interested in buying a plot of land. Seeing your ads online, decided to pass by, come check it out myself. Doing business without seeing real offices these days is kind of really stressful.
What is your budget range?
Spending about 50 to 70,000 Ghana cedis.
Wow, luckily we have a plot of land here going within that range. Actually, at Dentrad.
Oh, great. And how's the payment plan?
We have an initial deposit of 20%, outright payments, 3 months payment, 6 months payment, and 9 months payments. With the outright and 3 months, we give you 1 triple stone and 1 triple sand.
Oh, wow, interesting. And I think I'll go for the 3 months payment. When can I go view the site?
Every Saturday, 10 a.m. is site viewing.
Then I think we are good to go.
That's fine.
That's nice.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir.
Nice doing business with you.
Nice doing business with you.
Find your dream property with Aura Black Star Limited. Visit us today and let our expert team guide you home.
You can contact us on 030-2452-555, 030-2452-555. Our website at www.auralblackstarlimited.com. Aura Black Star, your preference, our priority.
And the financial policy of government. And room. Of course, tonight my guest, Eric Odro, Executive Director, Chartered Institute of Tax Law and Forensic Accountant, Ghana. Of course, also a lawyer. And even tonight, they were addressing the, in the law, code nankasa. Of course, our guest in London, Nana Amankwa, also a political analyst in any bidding. But before quickly, me come a guest, let's take a sharp view of the minority for no more concerns or more raise but minority for no raise more concerns na minority for no raise no aha and almost shall see it free. Take a listen to this. Great. So that's one of the concerns of the minority for it was quite a pretty fascinating, is it not? Now, a question again was also put to Dennis Miracles. When will MPP, this question even came earlier before yesterday. Now, listen, Dennis Miracle Abuaje, when will MPP government take down the following taxes? Now, no, not taxes, but any ABC, no, and the Dennis and take a listen to Dennis Miracle.
Let's talk about the tax cuts also that the Vice President has proposed. I'm sure that you have heard this question many times about, if the Vice President says if he becomes President, betting tax will be abolished, e-levy will be abolished, and the question on the minds of many Ghanaians is why can't he propose it to the President to abolish them now?
Okay, so first of all, he has proposed it to Cabinet. Cabinet disagreed with him. He's not the only person in government.
He has?
Yes. He is not the President. He doesn't take ultimate decision.
When was this proposal?
Oh, why? He's made his point about betting tax and e-levy several months ago, almost running into a year. But he's not president. We run an executive presidency. You see, you can do politics and be sentimental, but the facts are the facts. You are vice president, you are a minister, a cabinet minister. When you go to cabinet, there's something called collective responsibility. But the ultimate responsibility is with the president. So ultimately, when cabinet takes a decision, we are all collectively part of it. But why? You think there's everything in this government that I agree with, even though I speak for government a lot of times. I disagree with a lot. Sorry, with a lot. But I take collective responsibility of decisions of government. That is how sane societies operate. That is the essence of democracy. Otherwise, there will be chaos.
But then the question is, did MPP actually make provisions to get rid of those monstrous taxes? So
Let's talk about the tax cuts also that the Vice President has proposed. I'm sure that you have heard this question many times about, if the Vice President says if he becomes president, betting tax will be abolished, e-levy will be abolished, and the question on the minds of many Ghanaians is, why can't he propose it to the President to abolish them now?
Okay, so first of all, he has proposed it to Cabinet. Cabinet disagreed with him. He's not the only person in government.
He has?
Yes. He's not the president. He doesn't take ultimate decision.
When was this proposal?
Oh, why? He's made his point about betting tax and e-levy several months ago, almost running into a year. But he's not president. We run an executive presidency. You can do politics and be sentimental, but the facts are the facts. You are vice president, you are a minister, a cabinet minister. When you go to cabinet, there's something called collective responsibility. But the ultimate responsibility is with the president. So ultimately, when cabinet takes a decision, we are all collectively part of it. But why? You think there's everything in this government that I agree with, even though I speak for government a lot of times. I disagree with a lot. Sorry, with a lot. But I take collective responsibility of decisions of government. That is how sane societies operate. That is the essence of democracy. Otherwise, there will be chaos.
Let's talk about the tax cuts also that the Vice President has proposed. I'm sure that you have heard this question many times about, if the Vice President says if he becomes president, betting tax will be abolished, e-levy will be abolished, and the question on the minds of many Ghanaians is, why can't he propose it to the President to abolish them now?
Okay, so first of all, he has proposed it to Cabinet. Cabinet disagreed with him. He's not the only person in government.
He has?
Yes. He's not the president. He doesn't take ultimate decision.
When was this proposal?
Oh, why? He's made his point about betting tax and e-levy several months ago, almost running into a year. But he's not president. We run an executive presidency.
Great, folks. Now, so video we my admission say MPP for no my provision for it already. Now, in former events saying we can as an injury time minister here. I mean, and to say we more implemented our tax, but obviously. Before this program will end, I will show you another video. It's just Nina na their total system. Tonight, of course, my guest Omuna I ready, and in the studio I have Eric Odro, Executive Director, Chartered Institute of Tax Law and Forensic Accountant, Ghana, or a lawyer. Eric,
yeah,
good one. Now, question maybe, did the policy statement mirror some of your expectations, for yesterday?
Okay, we extend our greetings to everybody this evening, having such a great opportunity. It's a budget statement, fiscal policy mirrors the pulse of the nation. Yes, what we are expecting to achieve within the next one fiscal year.
Oh, okay.
So depending upon people's interests, leanings, expectations, there are likely areas where they will go in your favor and others might not go in your favor. But it's a collective document which we need to interrogate and see how best we can pick the best out of them to help Ghana. So if you look at the totality of it, I was looking at key policy decisions. Those are the things as ordinary Ghanaian, let me put it that way. And those are the areas I was looking out for. The rest are the normal budgetary mechanics.
I see.
Yeah, which you are forced as a finance minister to churn out, telling Ghanaians the state of the nation. But when it comes to policy decisions, policy directions, programs, strategies, those things are the inherent competencies which you must have been amassed with those skills. And so we interrogate that aspect as well.
I see.
Now, the budget the revenue aspect,
okay,
and the expenditure aspect. And a debt. Now, you pick from debt aspect, debt now, the total debt is 721 billion Ghana cedis,
okay,
representing about almost 62% of the gross domestic product. And the gross domestic product, no, igusua money muso. Aha, inti most situations, no say, timi money muso more. Aya a bois debt profile rate, no. And yet debt nankasa mo, but the percentage, no.
Okay.
Aha, because it me kone ni matin nice around 1.2 trillion Ghana cedis. And money mo come more. Not just say the debt profile, no. A from kakra, depending upon how it also grows or it does not grow in that tandem. Now Adana may can say 26 billion, no. It move 58% a year exchange loss, a year impaired exchange debt profile.
I see.
Not just say, and no yes katia edaho. Me pese Ghana for. Me calculating crisis here. It's about $28 billion.
Hey yo,
that's the difference between the relative 302 billion and it's 726 billion. No? That is about over 400 billion. With the back dollars more, that's about 28 billion. It's Ghana for you were $28 billion. SSC a copy free baby.
The best sort out.
Size cano any juma. The juma a year and say a cost share a friend is saying 302 billion muna. Yent me and Tuanemu Amani Muswako 726 billion. That difference, that chasm, the gap, and no na yeka wansam no. Into we are mind back we a friend is saying Abemuni we a president. Sasubo we say that also. Inti say and so sad noa, especially from the point of the forest imbalances, no. Na enusu kwenti aye. Na sisia baby economic policy any ntutu any nyoma esiko no ho. Enye statistics nko your inflation, gross international reserve, tax rate, sano money there. Eye as the macro level. But ade bakwa me hu wo budget no mu a me pese me interrogate ni say agricultural transformation agenda. And no den.
Yeah.
What is the blueprint? Strategies being the woman because offer. And you my Kenya na ordinary Ghanaian about almost 34 million. No? Or share say the cost of living, standard of living, ni nyina no beba no. Said the beya obetimi gina brane. Na ni best school fees obetimi atu ane danka investment all ye any side of money nyina. Enu na all share. Enti yamfa ne se bia ye de wa ye minister ana se abemu penny bi. So okay, ye discount ana se ya tot fertilizers ni ye amount say fa common crase for no mu fanye infu. Na wa short change no. Wa kwa no de akofa baby. Nti wo kwa na akofa baby no. Ankoduru omo ho ekoduru omo krampo na enye 100%, ebia 80% na 70% na 50%. Dia tia kamu no. Se ebasa yield no ana se output no e free cocoa cash products and non-cash products na. Ubehu se enya dia yensa beka ye full secret na ye hwehwe no. Enti full secret na ye nya no kakra na ho na bema price na kosoro. Na fei na businessmen so person will increase the productive capacity or person will timi create demand na o create employment no so no na so akadwom. Se the raw materials no kra free sa emfuo no mu a na che se akadwom because of who responsibility near them I say for says cano equires agricultural we say no. Enti that side na enya masa macro when in a bribi ekeka no. Enti ubehu sa afi no na yield na kofom no. Na fi aduane price no akosoro. Na e the pressure basa macro economic indices no. Enti Bank of Ghana na the problem no. So one day use monetary policy na fa so inflation no. Ono no de we crash ni the obeyani and the crash in your but I say a whole problem ni free. Fertilizer na se kwasa asinu na ma enuama that is the point. That's the linkage. Inti enye a crash in some na kan enu de en de obeka next 50 years na you are better the same. Inti yen hwe agricultural product na enu eyeden. What goes into it? How is it going to help Ghanaians? Those are the areas we need to interrogate. The tosumienu a meka eho asem eye the banking sector.
Okay.
You see, the banking sector maintains the economy. Menyan ntiye wo winim kura say about 30.3 billion had been spent. Emma about 26 billion call banks, non-bank financial institutions, asset management companies ni we say no. Ye evaluate say sa expenditure na ekomu no benefit be na Ghana for enya. Resilience be na banks no so etimi enya about 23 universal banks no. Omo profit profile ni eden. Liquidity position omo sika sem se ni agina brane no. Investment sika omo de akɔhye enioma ma adaache de emfaso be brom yenhwe saade no. Deposit profile sika omo agege a due to sa decisions na aban etwa mu no ye na nso yenhwe loans are almost so as banks due to other banks and other institutions. Yenhwe loans nso almost dey ama amount for almost wenya eso emfaso in terms of interest income. Yen kan nyina mom ne evaluate. Said the beya ye de betu to hu say sa program na aban ne undertake ye no yenya nani so fapem pefe nchirechire mu ne emfa nkatre the politicians mfo no say den eka said the beya obi abehu say oh sa decision we na aban ne eye na na so take ye no aboa na say moai nti eboa wo 10% and I say 15%, and 20%, and 100%. Esi ehu sa de no. Into those metrics amaka ni nyina no expect no. Let's evaluate and get the net benefit as against what is being touted. Say such amount has been what spent on it. The atosumiensa taxation. Tax there, that is area aya many edge ho. Na mate bruha habi ewukrum eni ade. Na and the okan wasam said and crampo na a tax as a man. Ushe senia omutro we see him na. Unse you were betting tax nankasa.
That's right.
And your lottery tax. Into lottery tax no. And no Oma implemented it wasn't implemented.
But it was enacted.
I mean, yes, it's dormant. And they'll tell to me pass it, but it is ineffectual.
Okay.
Just say enyejuma. And now bet in Nankasandi, it is working. Udia near two. Let me send penny for Trono. And okay, you see where winnings, at the year betting tax. So there are two separate taxes. I can't want them. That is the aspect. Mestre say, Yema, a friend is saying, as we feel any day, and na ebi a chop ebi ana century mu a emra bonten na emfa asumdwe emra. Na one thing about the tax policies na yerade bae no. One area me pese me interrogating say uhwe eye tax refund account.
Good.
Say no ye levy a year free honum any other taxes now ya pass it as to whether say they are operational or not they are going to be abolished. Now there's a potent decision being taken, so you can't argue anything again. Now menyan inti say sa tax refund account no no eba be so ye levy no ano kakra. I think we need to still interrogate it because I know for sure say 2022, the budgetary allocation, and I say, security travel for living in Kwan was almost 7 billion. That's 6.9. After 2-3 years, no, it's supposed to have gone up. So, how is the 3.8 billion? A bit me a source, I live is canai, ye beshre nano. And a two, tax refund account.
Why revenue mobilization for that? I be taken care of.
Yeah,
one cutting entirely without making provisions. We are losing.
Oh yeah, Inti sa tax refund account no. Unse mostly no a GRA no so your assessment either provisional assessment and say assessment on account and self assessment. Nyoma miensa we provisional assessment no mo hwa mtumbo mutrim and almost share financial previous performance any other metrics no nom de ageo. Say to your tax we see or a home council objective and a war provision on account and on all the financial statements in the qua na omo ye omo metrics analysis ni we see ni nyina na mo de ajew and it was self assessment and no de ye ma kwan say ahena afi no betimi atua ntie bia first quarter second quarter third quarter ntie bia afi no be wi no de watua no say broso na atwa assessment no ba difference na be credit amount and na other refunds no so wo VAT ho no input VAT ni output VAT that's the aspect because I remember say about 10-15 years ago GRA was getting huge amount of tax refund to pay the multinationals, especially the multinationals. Enti say yebehwe ho na they can even manage the tax refund in Prampo na it will be on a case by case basis. So enye say o yen interest can fund to and say yen creative fund in fund to like a pre-finance kind of well it can be done. Send they have the power, but ubetime case by case. Say refund in the bar. Ni akwa is can dey den e dey atua e ba until one say bribia you are managing it very well but is can da ho na enye hwe a and they can use environment in other way say no agbawuram dey aya de foforo until that is the aspect best say because eba input VAT now there are some of the multinational and big institutions now and new man na omoto no they get a higher input VAT benefit no esene and new man na omoto because bia new man na omoto no kra no most of them now crampo and attracting output tax into the output tax no be free customer no hono and shada no so still the input tax no koto to nneoma no into ono wo expert near into no anya more input VAT though it's already been paid but now be a burden on the government in terms of GRA though you trace card at all and as and when it happens no na ye de atua into a hono so no mesre say omunhwe the tax aspect. The next aspect I make so here industrialization and also we go through no I think say I see shemukina friends saying brakweku country especially a developing country ade betimi aboa pa your manufacturing unsa Ghana no ye the services sector, the manufacturing sector and the agri sector and these are the three strands forming the economy. The service sector is about 46%, at least around 46%. And manufacturing is around 32-34%. And agri between 19 and 22%. To be honest, now manufacturing side, no, the value chain, no, and a country, no, young skill set, no, though the service sector, no, so, but service sector, no, the skill set, no, I be ICT. And now certain specialized service are providing ABA shipment, technological, specialized banking services, ABA consultants, you know. So no and cost rosa into a country like a developing country like Ghana, na per se still because the service sector no bigger no. We cash in on that because the man transient service are transient. This is which ya no, but say manufacturing and no who the processing, what about integration, what about assembling, what about your friend is saying distribution, what about marketing, what about customer service, post customer at every point be no job creative over assembling side, integration side, processing side at every point be no how are we dealing with these things in terms of industrialization? These are questions we must interrogate. Sebasa yes, ye investment, ye infrastructure investment, you know. And no mostly na manufacturing. ABA we roads, ABA we are no contractor ne be no we pa and no and what was once unless it be a tolls. But say be or ye among products and now fertilizer products and now sajungu products in a year at what was so co-create other byproducts, any raw materials, any other companies. It will say the value chain is always long. That is the area we must concentrate. That is the near concentrated services. Now services are there: ICT, education, defense, banking, insurance, finance, friend is saying aviation. What is the worth of that services sector? No, that, are they going to help us to meet our medium-term, long-term target in becoming, let's say, middle or upper level middle class country? Can we get that? These are areas we must get it, because you see, manufacturing in the country be no person subsidy. Manufacturing, that's the first one. The second one, human capital development. Third one, your productivity, and the fourth one, making sure say you build the ICT infrastructure. Now, ICT infrastructure now building. No? How do you build that ICT infrastructure? You need the manufacturing sector to beef it up, because how many people know computer science?
Yeah.
How many people know more ICT? Friends say, "Ubet me coding, ubet me web application, ubet me programming, ubet me other software engineering." Na no kra no osua wi a ehun akade no wo hen service ben ye de ne kwa akoto ano productivity ben ye create aha nti let's build the agriculture and the manufacturing. Si anya ne sa ne betena ha de abrakwaku ye be kasa inflation do say eno no de be kan ya hwo sha but it will not solve the problem.
Yeah.
Enti yen hwe ehonom no enso. Ene say ya mesa eka eho asem ne ye eba the debt aspect na meka ho asem na electricity menya ne ntie 68 billion. Enyes kaketwa.
Yeah.
IPP about 1.7 billion dollars, and a cocoa board also $32 billion dollars, about 11.9. It has to be paid within this year. Yenyanity said we are likely to offload some of the state institutions, but I've advised with regards to ECG, we should be very careful. Despite the fact that debt is overwhelming, we have to be very careful. What we need to do is say the strategic infrastructure and installations and properties and assets na yewono. Yen create financial vehicle, whichever debt profile that we want to manage. Yen create financial vehicle. It's a financial vehicle na ye create no. Yen is okay. Yen share the portfolio component. Yen might be about 30% from the foreign side, not 70% no, or whatever mix that is going to be proposed no. Enye Ghanaian. Ghana Hano, young fans electricity is the heartbeat of everybody.
Yeah.
Whether it's industrial, commercial, household, whatever.
Domestic.
Yes. And the president will come and speak to the nation. Tell them, say, Eranum, Ghana for the electricity bill na akwakuduni. You need readily available money. You debe handle that particular thing. So this is what we need to do. There was trade institutions. There were the clergy were here, you were the business sector were here, your workers were here, you were the working class were here, you were the foreign aspects were here, and so they were the normal Ghanaians and so on. The money is with us because it means taxes of about 152 billion Ghana cedis there, and we the work rate yet me to so then it tells you that the additional income in us, we find financial engineering mechanisms to collect them. So now what we need to do is okay, yen flow to shares. I'm linking this thing to even the cocoa debt, no. Cocoa debt and electricity debt, no. It can be two prone financial vehicles or one financial vehicles containing the two. Now yen share Ghana for say, ton shares. Obia meto shares nibi. It bet me 5 cities, it bet me 20 cities, it bet me 1,000, it bet me 200. See, criticize we say now. Trade associations for beba. Banks ebeba, the clergy ebeba, working class ebeba, AGI ebeba, wealthy Ghanaians ebeba, and suddenly called the foreign market.
Okay.
Take off foreign market. No, most of this can be about begum. There will be arrangement to that effect. Okay. Ye criticize can we are ye man are buying and managing direct. Near man financial consultants, experts. I mean people who are savvy in financial management skills. Near they are sure Munsa. Near they say like management contract because mostly you can do it in that management contract. Into the management contractor. Now they are sure Munsa. No, I can say okay. And for so be mumu be 15% and 10% and 20%. Now they can bind there. Then you are managing the portfolio for us. So portfolio no kwano. Yentimi twa kan nyina kra esan say Ghana phobia twa bi because you make say no say anya electricity no obroni na ba beto obroni so beto a yenmasun sunsanso enti say ebeye ahofama na ebeye patriotic activity a wo say oh no obi abeka say okay and then we need to do no say oni kuna kotobi we kuna mo say ade bi wo ho a eye opepa no ahanyasa we share nipa no. So if you're able to do that, it creates that financial vehicle for us. When they manage it, we get investment out of it. We get interest out of it. And some Benyan Krofo manages our fund because it's a big fund. In the ABA, the clergy sector, no, you will manage The industrial sector, you want manage the service sector, you want manage. So these are the aspects you bet me and we can do it.
Yeah.
Because once the government involves too much, that is where the impairment and the influences come. Where the shakrachi phones are. Because when you say crashing, would deep because I sample manusu you be kicking. So this is one aspect I think say we can deal with it. Then going forward, the other aspect that we can also look at, the agri sector, the publishing sector, the printing sector, the emerging sectors, and the ICT.
Okay.
You see, there are some countries, especially India, what they do, they say, okay, banks, like Bank of Ghana is a regulator. In the Bank of Ghana, amend or more acts, no one can say. Any bank BIA shall say 25% of your portfolio should go to agriculture. Into your share. Into India, printing sector, the Indian government has made a policy. So you go into you invest in the printing, you fund them. It's Ghana for you now printing now there with India because I said there's a policy, there's a law. But no obia na there, so Bank of Ghana can amend that. So some of the priority areas, investment areas, near the tabua to so. Say as a bank, financial institution, whether non-bank or banking institution, you have to make sure say you invest in this particular area. Maybe 15%, and your share because Bank of Ghana no functions near open market operation, managing the cash ratio, directives. So this one can come on a directive, moral suasion, making sure that the financial system is stabilized, managing the interest rate. And that's how money into one say it may we say we are. Ghana needs dollar and quadruple and for effect.
Great. Hold it there for me. May I call London? Near and touch base some few minutes now. Some perspective as to how NRA or monitor budget statements, from London and from the perspective. Nana good evening. Amankwa, good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
Great. Yes. My NG a few perspectives be in free honomo. And run all man monitor situation on the ground. While some discussions now is floating as to whether we're looking at a medium term, a short term, a long term. From the three categories of arrangements, where exactly do you stand with respect to what you monitored yesterday?
Set taxing, I said tax budget reading. A short-term budget reading based on a political and election promise. You can't assume by a better tax, What's the main clearly?
Yeah, very power.
Okay. And a promise at NDC for my power, or my deliver on the promise.
Good.
As I always say, I'm not here to praise Caesar, but to bury Caesar. I'm not here to. And I'm very Ghana for you're very, very quick to praise. And that's why I will praise with a little bit of cautious position. Because budget, address the issue of betting tax, But the fundamental of any economy is based on what we are strong at. Africa, Ghana, compete making cars that people want. What we can compete is in the things that we have, which is especially agriculture. It's if you don't emphasize on agriculture, if you don't emphasize on that, you are going nowhere. It's a medium to long term. But budget really for short term cosmetic address to populous population voters issue. Adiano Kweku is about problems and solutions. It's not about Dr. This and Mr. Lawyer this and then our problem. In Misano, Kaneshi industrial estate. Now, Omuye form in Roma or they call back to the same place. I churches. see, the economy is driven by funerals and churches. And this is where you are. And most of our leaders, in the last 30 years, I don't think they are qualified. In Ghana, that is the level of leadership we can get. They are not qualified. They don't have the governance mentality to be able to deliver to majority of the people. How can you tax a country? Kweku, majority of the people are not middle class. Ghana, you have 5% super rich, 10% middle class, and the rest of them is either unemployed, rural poverty, and peasants. And you want to use taxation as a means of raising the country. And how can you do this? Most countries only use taxation to be able to manage their national budget. About 80% of the population will form under the middle class.
How do you see a country like India?
A country like India, it has a big market, but there's no money. But the problem, the good thing about India is more technology.
Yeah.
They can make their own cars. They can make their own machines for their agriculture. They can make things that they can use or people want. We haven't gotten to that level. Even Ghana cocoa. Are you understand that you to me beer cocoa? Esa ko bobusia, esa boka.
Quite shocking though. Strange.
Think about it though. You have your cocoa and you want the buyer. Now you end up in debt because some people will be big fat men at cocoa bar, and the farmers will be poor. No wonder they are selling the farms for galamsey. And today, cocoa areas, no roads, no crying. Where your economy is not in Accra, it's in the bush, in the forest areas, gold, diamond, timber. Those places too, when you go there, the people are poor. How? Can you how does this work? Make the budget a short term to address a short term problem. And I betting a taxes not to budget. If they call me, I can show them how they can meet a guy called David Donahan. Or bet you Musidi or betting loss. I bet equal to Bahamas, any Barbados. Foreign betting companies online. They'll pay taxes to the Ghana government.
I see.
There's a way to do it. It's about compliance. You don't even have to tax your people. Let your people do whatever. Well, countries, Ubetimia Seto, Unsa Bahamas, Mauritius, Romano.
Yeah.
Do you know Omoya Islands? So, but do you know that they get a lot of money from betting? Not people betting in their country, but the betting companies set up head offices in their country, so they can avoid high tax in UK and the rest of them. In Tomo set it up, then they pay taxes to the government of that country because they are hosting them as the nation host. It makes me set up a betting company. Now maybe my head office to Ghana, and so my branch for UK. Yeah, business for UK. And so me na catch a UK government, and the head office for Ghana. It's yet me taxes for Ghana.
I see. Wow.
There's a guy called David Donahan. He approached me in London. But on Penta bribe life, na big man. He will just show you Wabua Bahamas, Wabua UK government. David Donahan. It's a very direct friend of mine.
Yeah.
I will introduce it to them. He will show them how the government can get money from Europeans and Americans gambling on football, etc. abroad. You see, they don't know what to do. That's the problem. And if they know what to do to bribery, Ghana for leadership. Bribery, come and pay money, this big man, the cliche of the African big man.
Yeah.
Most Ghanaian leaders, who the Switzerland, 10 years, they will bring it down to Ghana level. I'm telling you, most Ghanaian or African
I tend to
leaders,
agree
they
with you.
can't do nothing.
Great.
They can't depend natural.
Yeah. Amankwa, you fancy Anna is a developing a minja to our wijuma. So definitely we'll come back to you in the very coming days as the budget.
A short-term budget to address short-term things.
Good one. Thanks very much, Amankwa. Appreciating the Nana Amankwa from London. Also monitored the elections from the perspective. Now, I mean, come message Nememra with me and rapper was say, hi, good evening, Mr. Kweku. Thanks for work you are doing for our mother Ghana. Please ask the former administration MPP, where is the COVID-19 trust fund money from Godwin, Accra, and or the Ebai? We also say, good evening, Kweku. I'm Ransford from La Paz. Mr. Kweku, Nana Addo is a wicked, evil demon, Satan, wizard, and in fact, Nana Addo must be crushed. Hey, ready, yes. My message is be a horror. Hello, Kweku. I am strongly disappointed with your take on the recent budget announcement, removing taxes only to introduce new ones and emphasizes tax mobilization will unfairly burden ordinary Ghanaians. We demand more than just token price reduction. We need tangible relief that improves living standards. The government's actions will reveal their true commitment to citizens' welfare. If price don't drop significantly, it will clear the changes that changes are just for show. Echo from Tema Committee 4 and all the all of that. My memory with the rest of the kind. Yes, Eric. See, what do you make of all our angles? Akaka was side or?
Yeah, there's aspect in the budget na no so na me pese me interrogate kakra. Uhwe paragraph 123 Roman number 3
Paragraph 123.
Yes.
Okay.
So increased share of capital expenditure. But throughout the budget, the government wants to embark on more fiscal consolidation. So person tite expenditure so now revenue so showing up. And the cut in government spending through reducing public debt. Then increased share of capital expenditure. In Tiahano so that's 127, paragraph 127.
Person would have to come back and explain more.
Yes, because also cut in government spending through reducing public debt. Not just over cut. And also increasing share of capital expenditure. So how? Because capital expenditure no yet. Sika wu here or be mpuntujuma. Mpuntujuma nkasa. Roads, infrastructure, those things. And I know so no mostly no tax revenue nankasa no about 50 to 60% no echo recurrent expenditure, salaries, any interest payments, then sane manoma no. Enti ubenya size kan wo he. Sisi anso no IMF cap no so no e difficult. So a bet for so
threshold or
yes, because the on checking for paragraph 123 and 127 there is a mismatch. Yes. How do you increase and at the same time cut? Because ubenya says can wo. Then you go to the domestic borrowing market. So you would the pressure bet to domestic market no so. Banks, no, even Bank of Ghana itself. Yes, they can borrow you the banking sector, any other institutions. Where so you are limiting the competence in terms of getting finances by the business sector to grow. It was a ban beje hona kantan so in the medium term here interest rate between us because suppliers of finance no more most cano e bi ni honti a won say na obema they increase it into yenhwe hon because now no getting money to tackle capital expenditure no is an issue. So they should check the 123 III any 127 no?
I see.
Because a honor a big growth ever, a development ever, a expansion of the economy ever, a survival of business ever. Because say udi says can shimwa whether infrastructure a honor contractor you bet me a boys or no mu juma or monso contractor and so talk raw materials or talk services from other consultants, consultants. Enti say ye kati spending now. Then how do you get money to pay and still refinance and finance those infrastructure, you know. Once you become baby now then you are likely to take certain decisions. It will still come and hurt the local domestic economy. Because one the banks are also likely to be risk averse. And it's kind of demand, there are risks. Because I'm not getting that money, so let me increase.
God, Eric, yeah, be wrap up, mommy said. Ato also says, friend saying, tax refunds in our cell phone KB has been misappropriated.
About 16 billion.
Sure, no, what do you make of this?
Yes,
and former officials are not trying to reconcile things well.
Okay. Yeah, that's an aspect. I was asking, say, how do you use a tax refund to finance a e-levy? Because tax refund is more or less like an earmarked fund. Well, they are experts in the end. We are ordinary Ghanaians. So now, I think it's about 16 billion, which is alleged to have been misapplied. Details now. So what kind of misapplication? Was it? You should at the forefront, and now another budget line. And now you approval, and now you approval, and now you another tax expenditure related activity, and now say the at the forefront. Those are because we can't just talk about the 16 billion without getting the Other than that, you not be fair to both sides. So that's the question I asked. But you see, when you now dovetail into tax compliance, say Abani to me a Jumapa, it can collect a lot of taxes. I even suggest, irrespective of whoever had won on December 7th, we have to do national tax audit.
I see.
The national tax audit will reveal the tax indebtedness, the actual tax indebtedness. But a political decision. We will only say it. Now, tax compliance, the key things are a bond by